Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this live stream, I'm thinking that we're gonna wrap up the blog project so that we can first and foremost edit categories outside of just creating it inside this select component. I also want to be able to edit it in its own filament resource. So I'm gonna create a category resource. And if we head into category resource, just briefly here, in here we can specify a few different things we want to edit. So because we already have done most of the fields here, we can just copy and paste them in. And then we can go in here and we can create a text column which is going to be searchable for title and slug. And we can make a color column for the BG color and one for the text color. So if we now head into the browser here, we'll block the test and then admin panel. I'm just going to quickly log in. We're now able to change and manipulate this post, but also the categories. So we have content in here, and the reason why we have a WYSIWYG with a content functionality is because we want to be able to pass through content for its own page. So we're going to create a category page. So if I go ahead and create a new tab here, obviously this is a bit annoying. I don't want it to be this long. So I would like to create an excerpt function as well. And to do that, let's head into the resource that we created. And in here, we just want to create a function here which strips the tags. So I'm just going to close down these here and go into the post resource. And in here, I'm going to create an excerpt one. And let's say strip tags for this content, and inside the post card, instead of rendering anything but the excerpt in here. So let's just see what that looks like. You can see we've gotten rid of all of the HTML here, so that's quite nice. So what we can go ahead now in here and do is that we can limit this word here. So we can limit the strip tags to be a specific amount. So we're gonna say limit, and we are gonna we're gonna put words. We're gonna say the content here, and we're gonna put it to 30. And there we go. So now we have this nice ability to just get the content here. You could also create a description field if you wanted to. So outside of that, now that we have this excerpt function in here, we can also go ahead into our make a controller here called category show controller. By the way, all of this will be available in a GitHub repository after this video. We're going to make this invocable. So inside the category show controller, we want to create a view, or inertia view, sorry. And we're just going to have this inside the folder category show. So let's go into the pages view component and create the category, and then show that view. And in here we want to have a template where we have some content, and we want to have a script in here with a setup, and we want to have define prop set to take in a category as an object. So inside the category show controller, we want to pass through the category And we want to just say category. And what we want to do here now is we actually want to go ahead and say create a category resource. So let's create a resource called category resource. And then in here we want to have the category resource make category. Just like that. And in here, all we want to return is just the color and the content and the like. So we want to have title. We want to have the content. Slug. And the text color. And then we want the ability to have the background color as well. So with that sorted, let's head into here and just pass through the category. And I'm going to go into the web.php. We're going to quickly create a root, and just like we did with the article. And we're just going to put through the category slug instead. And then we're going to use the category shell controller. We're going to import it. We're going to call this category.show. And we want to probably make both of these pro also. We're going to call this categories instead. So categories test. Okay, so the moment we're getting an error. At the moment, pages categories show that view is not found. Okay, so that's the reason why this is failing. It's because we need to have a slash here, because it's not actually finding it. There we go. So let's go ahead and import the layout for this. And let's go into our post show the view. And let's get the title and the article class passed in. So I'm going to call this category instead. And it still won't look perfect here because if we go in here, you can see that this is not censored, and that's because we haven't censored the div. So let's go in here and set a maximum width in its own div, and then go down and close it. There we go. So now we have the ability to render the category page, along with rendering a page here for the blog post. I want to go ahead and do a bit more tidying up in the code as well before we finish this. So let's go in here and make sure that this also goes to the correct route. And there we go. So we want to make sure this is loading in the function. So also I want to go inside the app layout for file. And inside the app layout file, we want to create the home route, and we don't really need the dashboard. So I'm just going to have the home route here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to get rid of the Teams management feature because we don't need that in here. I at least don't think we need it, but if you need it, you can go ahead and keep it, obviously. And let's make sure we have it inside the responsive link as well. And let's make sure we also have this here named route to home. And there we go. So this allows us to essentially click on these, view the article, and have a small media curator plugin, and all of this works perfectly fine with Vue.js and Filament PHP. I personally think this is a really good way to create an easy admin dashboard, along with having the ability to upload multiple types of media if you wanted to. You don't just need to have one, you could upload more than one. You can pass through all sort of relevant details in here and just create it. So do let me know if you have any other questions. Is there any features you want me to quickly implement before I end off the stream? Or what do you guys think? Is there anything you particularly want to see? Do let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna get rid of the dashboard road as well, because we don't need that in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. And let's take a look. We could also display the categories actually on the article page. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So dashboard is not defined. It's because we're still loading the dashboard route. So let's just make sure this goes to the home route. There we go. That should fix that error. Go in and click on an article. And we want to load in the article categories. So inside the article resource, or the post resource as we're calling it, in the HTTP folder here, we want to get categories. And we want to say category source collection. This when loaded, so this will equal loaded categories. And then when we head into our post show controller, we want to make sure that post is gonna load the categories. And then inside the post show function here, let's see what we get through. And I'm gonna just say posted categories just to simplify it. Okay, so we're not getting anything through right now, so let's take a look in here. Inside the post resource, we want to make sure that we have categories loaded. So I'm gonna go into the post show controller, and to simplify this, I'm gonna go ahead in here and just say post load categories. And there we go. So now we're loading the category in here, we're including it so we can reduce the query count and try to avoid n+1 problems. Inside the post show, we can then essentially create a small batch. So if we go to Daisy UI, we can find the batch thing here. So we have this small one here, and we could specify the background color ourselves if we want to. So I'm gonna go into the code here again, gonna create a div v4 category in post.categories, and then I'm gonna create another div with the class batch, and I'm gonna put in the category title here. So you can see we have it all the way down here. We have a bit of a spacing. I'm gonna actually put it above the one here, just up here on the top. And then we can put the style. We can say background. Actually style like this, sorry. We can say background. Color is gonna be the category, the BG color. And then the color is gonna be the category dot text color. And as you can see, this is not a very nice color here, but this is how we can specify the color. You can create a different color in here. You can have one that's white in background color, actually black in background color, and white in text instead, just to make it look a bit nicer. And there you go. So we have a small batch here. We could create multiple categories. We can either do that in the categories resource, or we can go in and create a new post, and you can create a category in here. It's perfectly up to you how you want to do it. So we now have the ability to view the picture here. I'm gonna add some spacing as well to the top here, because it looks a little bit too close on that bar. I may make the picture a tiny bit round. I'm gonna just make it rounded, small. There you go. So this is how we can essentially build a mini blog with Filament, PHP, and Vue.js. It's super easy to add in. You can add in a lot of other plugins and loading things in here. So that's all for this mini course. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I will see you in another video. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.